Well, it's good to see you all today. I want to obviously thank the Boilermakers, and I want to thank the carpenters and painters for the board and all the work they've done to make this tournament possible. Elizabeth, how many have we had so far?
Today's number 6.
Number 6.
We got 3 more to go after today, plus the state championship.
Plus the state championship. And I want to tell you, there's some players here today that are going to be in that state championship. I just know it. These guys must do nothing but play cornhole all day. They're the best I've ever seen, and I'm just blowing smoke. You guys are really good. But it's good to see everybody. You know, politics is serious business, but occasionally we ought to have a little fun and have a little fellowship together. And so these events for me are kind of a time just to kind of relax and have a good time and celebrate being together. Now I want to say something about these folks standing next to me. Janet and Jeff are facing really tough battles, and I just want to say to them that I want to do whatever I can to be helpful to the two of you, because we need both of you there. The Senate, the Ohio Senate, is so out of balance that I don't think we have any chance of gaining the majority in the Senate this year. But we do need to strengthen the Democratic representation in the Senate, because next year we're going to do some things that are going to be tough, dealing with education. And the more support we can get in the Senate on the Democratic side, the better it's going to be for us. And then, as far as Jeff's concerned, Jeff, I think this year we can and will win a majority in the House of Representatives. And to be there and to be in the majority would be a terrific thing. And we need to pick up 4 seats. I think we're going to pick up several more than that. And it's going to be terrific to have a majority in the House, and I'll say more about that when I talk about Matt. What can you say about this guy? This one.
Be careful. They all know me.
Well, they do know him and they love him. And this is how many years in public life?
Oh my God. Counting the mayor of Bowling Green, city council. I've been on the board of county commissioners going on 25 years. So I'm into the 30th year bracket. The only one that's having me think twice is my wife, God bless her. I let her go to Florida, and she's down there right now, so I'm here. I'm doing my thing, yeah. Thank you.
Think about this. He is choosing public service over his marriage.
I hope you're a lawyer.
But what a great guy, and obviously the people in this area know him so well, and we can only hope that the rest of us can do as well as you can, Alvin.
Thank you.
Thank you. And aren't you proud that he's a part of the brotherhood here?
Yes, sir. Part of the building.
Proud of it. Edna?
And then there's Edna. And we've had some tough decisions to make already over the last 2 years, and Edna has been there 4 square. I wish I could say I could count on everyone in the House of Representatives the way I can count on Edna. But Edna is always willing to be there to stand with us and to make the tough decisions that have to be made. And Edna, thank you, and it's going to be good to be in the majority, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The dean of our caucus.
The dean of the caucus.
She will be. Yes, she will.
That's terrific.
She will.
Then let me say a word about Matt. You all know Matt. He's also a part of the Brotherhood. And he came to Columbus less than 2 years ago as a freshman. And I want to make an announcement to you. After we take the majority, Matt's going to be in leadership in the House. And And that's already been determined. And so we're so proud of him. He's worked hard and he's earned it. And what a partner he's been with me. Now next year we're going to have to do some tough things. If you read the paper, you heard that the income coming into the state in this last reporting period was off almost $150 million. The economy of the country is in shambles. The financial institutions are teetering on the edge of the cliff. Unemployment is escalating. We're putting billions of dollars into Iraq every month when the Iraqi government is making billions out of oil and taking that money out of Iraq and putting it in foreign banks. It is estimated that they may have put as much as $50 billion in U.S. banks, while we're continuing to send up to $12 or more billion a month over there to build their infrastructure. And it is shameful, and it's having an impact on everything. I want to tell you, if we weren't involved in this war the way we are, gasoline would not be selling for $4 or so a gallon. There's a connection between this administration's foreign policy and what we're dealing with in terms of energy and oil costs and gasoline. And so we got to throw the bums out, quite frankly, come November. And if the reports that have surfaced in the last couple of weeks, based on the Suskin book, would be proven true, I think they are true, quite frankly. But if they could be proven true, some of these characters would end up and should end up in jail because they would have committed what is almost akin to treason. You don't take a country into war, risk the lives of our men and women, and do it in a deceptive, dishonest way. And I think that's what they've done, and we may never be able to prove it, but thank God there's only about 4 months left for this crowd to be in charge, and I think with all of our help, we're going to be able to elect Democrats from the top of the ticket, and I'm beginning with the presidency all the way down to the local level. People are sick and tired of what they're doing to this country. Now, next year, we're going to have to construct another 2-year budget. It's going to be tough. We're going to have to make tough decisions. And I'll tell you something else we're going to do next year. We're going to address school funding and school reform, and that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And that's why your support is so incredibly necessary and helpful to us. This is a time of struggle. It's a time of heavy burdens upon people as they try to put gas in their car and food on the table and pay their mortgages. We have been ripped off by the lending institutions in this country who have set people up for failure, and the chickens are coming home to roost. But sadly, the people who are being most affected are the people who have played by the rules, done everything right, tried as hard as they could, and sadly, too many of them are losing their homes in foreclosure. That's what you get when you get an administration that's concerned about one thing, and that's taking care of the super rich and letting everybody else fend for themselves. So I think the American people are going to throw the bums out, and we're going to have a new start. It's going to take a while to repair the damage and to rebuild the country, but we've got to get started. So thank you for your commitment to our efforts and to all of these good candidates. Thank you for what you've done for me. And now, let the games begin.